among a number of issues. The police has issued a statement saying that the group should not embark on the demonstration. The convener of the group is Oliver Barker-Vormawor. He was, remember, with the Fix Ghana campaign group. He's joined us on the line. Oliver, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mario. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. First of all, what are you demonstrating against? I've summarized by saying you want to demonstrate against mismanagement and also corruption, but shed light on exactly why you decided to invite people on Nkrumah's birthday to go and march.
Thank you for that. Just a point of clarity. Democracy Hub is the institutional arm of Face the Country. It's not a different group, but it's still Face the Country, which is operating through its institutional arm.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you.
In respect of the protest, for us, this protest is not an amenities protest. It's not about the increase of fuel or one or two, three things that we choose every day to demonstrate about. This is really a fight for the soul of this country. We feel like the country has lost its weight, has lost its path, that we are led by persons that do not have the integrity and even the best interest of the Republic at heart. It is a wake-up call to a generation that is slumbering and is sleeping on its duty to improve the lot of our country and our democracy. So much is wrong with everything in this country that we are calling on Ghanaians to remember their duty of citizenship, to fight what we have witnessed, which is moral decay of everything around us. This is what the demonstration is about.
And your plan is go to the Jubilee House, a security zone. What has been the discussions you've been having with the police ahead of your protest tomorrow? Because the police has issued a statement and saying that it is waiting for the court to determine the matter before taking any further action, and that it does not. It has actually filed an application to ensure that you halt your demonstration for tomorrow.
Let's just be clear that we have also learned that the police have filed an application in the courts on social media. This is how we found out. We do not know the basis of the application or what the police is alleging, so we cannot speak to that. Secondly, you describe Jubilee House as a security zone. I am now unaware of that prioritization, and I don't know what information you are privy to or what law you are based on. What we do know, factually, is that this will not be the first time the seat of government will be the subject of a protest movement. We saw it in Occupy Ghana. We saw it with the NDC's March for Justice. They all went to the forefront of Jubilee House. In fact, long in our history, the seat of government has always been the center of protest. Even what brought us independence, which is the March on Christopher Castle in 1948, is one of the things that precipitated our independence in this country. Since then, even during military era, through Liman, the Third Republic, until now, people are continuously marched to Castle to protest. So there's nothing that we shouldn't use we shouldn't throw around the language of security in order to mystify what is in fact where the president who we have elected went. What we are saying is that we're not going to occupy the offices where people are working. We are marching to the forefront of Jubilee House, as has always been part of our democratic culture, to be able to sit there and draw significant attention to some of the problems we are highlighting. Now, this march is about accountability, of course, it is. And where best the persons who have the moral responsibility to lead this country through times that involves or evokes the spirit of freedom and justice that our forefathers fought for. That is why we're going to Jubilee House. So I don't know any conversation about securitization that we use to depress people from exercising their constitutional rights. As far as the police action is concerned, until we are served or we are able to receive notice of what is fully contained in that, it's very difficult to respond to something which is only on social media.
I'm just curious. You are going to the Jubilee House tomorrow. It's a holiday. The Jubilee House staff will not be at work. The president is in New York as we speak. Whose attention are you really going to get tomorrow then?
The public, the people's attention.
So why don't you go to the People's House, Parliament, or go to the Independence Square?
What do you think? Do you think the Jubilee House belongs to one individual, the president? Jubilee House is the people's house. It is for us, and it symbolizes our heritage as a people. Even the design of Jubilee House speaks to the fact that they wanted to evoke elements of our culture. This is the people's house. Not only Parliament, even the courts belong to the people. Everything, this democracy is exercised in the name of the people. So yes, it might be we could have decided to go anywhere else, but we chose to where it will have historical significance. This is a choice that demonstrators are entitled to make. You cannot impeach the content of people's freedom of expression. That is the bargain of our democracy. That's exactly what we are doing.
I'm looking at the name you've given to your march. Is that not too offensive a name to use to describe the People's House?
You see, you've been in this job for quite some time. And you would agree that every poll that is focused on corruption perception in this country has always named one institution as the most corrupt institution in this country. The Jubilee House. Second, the police. Am I wrong? The people's popular perception of that office is theft and moral decay. Are you telling me that it's undemocratic to call the house by what it is known for? That's what we are doing. And in fact, our democracy admits of ridicule. And ridicule is part of constitutional rights and how you hold people accountable. It long goes in our culture to ridicule people as part of holding them to account.
You are inviting people to demonstrate tomorrow. The police says no one should heed your call because it has filed this application and awaiting action. And it's actually urging you, the organizers, to respect the due process. Are you going to respect the due process and hold on tomorrow?
We are going to respect due process. Due process requires that when people notify you of an impending demonstration over 1 month before the demonstration, you communicate to them as to the reasons why you have any objection, as the Public Order Act requires. Due process requires that once you have filed an application in the court, you serve the people. You don't put it on social media. That's not due process. Due process requires that when people are enjoying and exercising their constitutional rights, that the police show up and perform traffic management duties as is required. So yes, we are going to respect due process, and we hope that they respect due process as well.
Do you have political backers, as in, do you have any political party backing you tomorrow?
I don't even know how that is relevant or even anything evokes that conversation as part of this. Since the country is well known as a non-partisan group, everything we are doing is part of our politics and how we make our democracy better. We have always been non-partisan. We have rejected several appeals from any political party to join them in anything we do. So it shouldn't even be a question that we bring in to muddy the water. No, we have never been and would never look to receive support from any political party.
You are going to demonstrate tomorrow. Are you going to stay and picket there till the weekend as you had planned?
Well, we see nothing that has changed our original plan. So we are going to show up tomorrow and we'll continue to picket.
So you stay there till Saturday. My understanding has been drawn to that. That's your plan?
Yes, the plan is that it's a 3-day picket. It's never happened in our democracy. In fact, the idea is to show other countries in the South region that Ghanaian democracy is resolute, that we don't want to follow the barbaric actions that are going on in other countries where governments are being overthrown unconstitutionally. Ours is the constitutional democracy that we are envious of and we want to continue to protect. And that gives us the right to stay there and protest for 3 days.
A very good yardstick for measuring the success of demonstrations has been the numbers that show up. How confident are you that you can marshal the numbers? One is a holiday, people may be home relaxing. How confident are you that you can marshal the numbers to make the point that you really want to make? Because if you do not show up in huge numbers as you are hoping, then you may be ridiculed too.
Anybody who feels that in exercising constitutional rights, others must be ridiculed, is in fact not a Democrat at heart and doesn't understand the purchase of what this democracy promises us. But you know, the country in the past 2 years has drawn over 100,000 Ghanaians onto the street. Our last demonstration in Tamale brought over 15,000 people onto the street. We don't engage in numbers. We sell our message of hope and in the promise that citizens will wake up to their constitutional rights. Now, obviously and naturally, what the police have done, we believe is an calculated attempt to depress numbers and make people not want to come. If there's anybody who is listening to me who has any fear for their personal safety, please stay home. We promise that it will be peaceful, but we want people to be able to come out not at the risk of themselves. We want them to come out because they believe in the democracy and in their duty to resist oppressors' rule. So if anybody feels that they may not feel safe, please stay home. But for every other Ghanaian who understands what is happening, who understands that this is the time for us to take a stand and resist oppressors' rule, as our anthem calls us to, please show up. And it doesn't matter if it is one or two people. The most important is the belief that this democracy can deliver more than it is giving us today.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
I appreciate your time.
That's Oliver Barker-Vormawor. He is with Fix the Country, the wing of that group known as Democracy Hub, planning to embark on a mass action tomorrow through to Saturday.